Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Dear Brother Podcast. Good morning. Good Monday morning, man. I hope everybody had a great weekend. We're back at it this morning. Good morning, everybody that's coming in. We're streaming live on the Dear Brother Podcast on YouTube. We're also streaming live on the Facebook this morning. Good morning to my brothers. Good morning, everybody. Um, I want to talk about, I want to get into something this morning. I really do. You're going to see me this year really get into some serious matters, man, concerning men. I mean, we've been talking last year. I started this podcast around July, and we really talked a lot about healing men and addressing our issues and things like that. And I think that's profound, and we needed to do that because you can't get a man going unless you get him healed. And so healing men, getting men healed, getting men to see themselves again. A lot of brothers have been through a lot of things. And when I say brothers, I'm not just talking about any race. I'm talking about all of us as men. A lot of us have been through a lot of things and we face a lot of things in life. And it does take healing. A lot of us have been hurt in our childhood. Different things have happened in men's lives. And I think I spent the first 6 months of this podcast really addressing our issues, man. But it's like getting hurt and going to the hospital, right? You go in the hospital, you get healed, and then you come out and you get to work. You get to doing something. And I think that one of the things I really want to push going into this year and going forward with our podcast, with our community, is really to just move not only in healing, but then move into what we are to do with our healing. Being healed or being a better man is one thing, but what do you do? Right? It's not just about saying I'm a better man or I got healed from something. Well, healed people heal people. A lot of times we hear this concept of hurt people hurt people. Well, healed people heal people. And I think that not only do healed men heal people, but healed men heal society. And that's what I want to get into today. Good morning, everybody. We're streaming live. Welcome to the Dear Brother Podcast. Thank you, everybody who's been subscribing, man. It's been really moving. Good morning, Natasha. Good morning, my sister. Good to see you back. I took my break and I'm back. Back. I'm on live now Monday, guys. I'm on live Monday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay, I go live Monday, Thursday, and Friday. So that's my schedule. But I also put up videos on our site and on the YouTube page at any time. So even though you don't see me live, it doesn't mean I'm not making content. It'll still be content up there. But good morning, everybody. I want to get into this morning. I want to get into the purpose of man in society. And I really think this is very important to get into the purpose of man in society, because I think that we focus a lot on the purpose of man in a woman's life, the purpose of a man in a child's life, the purpose of a man, especially in social media now, is all about. I can't wait till Relationship Friday. I got something great for y'all Friday. But we get into our duty for women, our duty, and so, again, social media is pushing this thing so hard about what men are to be to women and what women are to be to men. And we almost get into a dog fight about these concepts. But in reality, y'all, as men, we have a purpose in society that's larger than how you treat your girl and what you're supposed to do for her and how much money you're supposed to have in your pocket. I think all these things are good. I'm not saying that we shouldn't treat our women well. I'm not saying we shouldn't have some money in our pocket, but I think that our manhood is being drowned out and watered down by how much we have in our pocket, where we live and what we drive and all these sort of things. And we're missing the main part, which is our duty in society. As men, you were born with a purpose, bro. I want to say that to you. You were born with a purpose. You were born with a problem to solve. Not one of you listening to me now, listening to the replay, whenever you hear this in whatever part of the world you're listening to it, you were born to solve a problem. And I want to say this, you're not a problem, you're a problem solver. The only men in society who become problems are men who can't find a problem they were born to solve. I want to say that. Men who can't find the problem they were born to solve become problems in society. And we call those men bad men. No, I don't believe there's such thing as a bad man. I think there's such thing as men who haven't been introduced to their purpose in the world. That's what I believe. I believe that there's men who have not seen what their duty is, what their purpose is. And a lot of brothers, we get lost in frivolous things. And my job, I believe my job and my calling, let me make it deeper. I believe my calling to the earth is to really reintroduce man into their purpose. But I think part of my job is also to invite you out of the chaos of society and the chaos of social media and the chaos of things like a TikTok ban and all. See, there's so many things that come to take our focus, man, that we miss the duty in society. You know what I look for? Let me see who's in chat before I get to going. Good morning, Denisha. Good morning, my sister. What I look for in society now, y'all, as men, I remember a day, and I mean, I wasn't born in this. I was born in '79, but I've studied every documentary. I've studied every read books and all these things about men in society who were the builders of society. And I'm not talking about the money builders. I'm talking about the guys who stood up for causes and problems in society. And it wasn't just, I mean, it wasn't just Malcolm X. It wasn't just Martin Luther King. It wasn't just black men. It was white men. It was Jewish men. It was all kinds of men that stood up for things in society. When they saw societal ills, their job, they took it upon themselves to change that society, even if it cost them their life. Right? I'm going to take my time, man, and get into this today because I think we need to be reintroduced to the cause, to the cause of man, the purpose of man, and what tip we really on. And if you really look at your life, man, as a man, how many times have you lost your purpose inside of consumerism and what you wear and what you drive? I remember growing up and through the 90s, everything was about the music and it was about what we wore. And we went from wearing big, giant, oversized clothes to jerseys to all these things. And some of y'all might be too young to remember this, but everybody knows what I'm talking about, in that we get moved and we get pushed around by what society expects from us and all these things. We get moved and pushed around by what music is telling us to be as men. But I remember studying the days, man, of the giants in society, that were willing to put their life on the line, right? That were willing to put their life on the line. And many of them did die to change something in society. I yearn for the day. And I'm working toward the day where we can have men that are there again. Right? What's happening to society now is that we don't have men stepping up into major parts. We don't see our role in society. We see our role in consumerism. We see our role in all kinds of things, but we're not paying attention to our role in society. And I think we got to get back to that. We got to get to that. Where are the Malcolm X's? I'm not saying that you can't be you got to be him. But where's the Martins in society now, and the X's in society now? Where are the JFKs in society now? Where are the righteous men that would stand up for something? And I live in Philadelphia, so the murder rate and things like that. Where are the men that would step right in the middle? There were men back in the day that would step in the gap. Y'all hear what I'm saying? There were men that would step into the gap of society and say, hold up, we're going to do something about this. We're going to change this piece of society. We're going to confront this group. We're going to confront this individual who's messing up the community. We're going to confront this and that. I think that now men we're hiding. We're hiding behind whatever it is, whatever the distraction is. But we can't allow, whatever city you are listening to this, whatever part of the world you are listening to this, I hope this podcast strikes something in you to say that you're just more than a guy who wants to drink a beer and watch the game on Sunday. I'm not saying ain't nothing wrong with that. But there's a bigger cause for your life. I want to say it again. You were born to solve a problem. You are a problem solver. And I'll say this again too. The only men who become problems in society are men who don't know that they have a problem to solve in society. And so I want to provoke you. I want to even piss you off if I have to this morning, to wake up out of the slumber that you're in. No, we got children. I got them. But guess what? They're my duty, right? I take care of them, but I also got a problem to solve in a society. Why? To make society better for our children. Do you realize, my brothers, what's going to happen in society? What's going to happen to our daughters if we don't straighten out manhood? Think about it. Who your daughter going to marry if there's nothing that's changing the hearts of young men now? Who your daughter going to marry? Some random dude? Society is producing a bunch of really soft, violent, nutty men. Really. And it was a day where it wasn't like that. I'm not saying that men were all good in society, but there was a day where we had honorable men, even honorable young men, right? That were willing to honor women. And we're not honoring, we allowing the balloon pop game on social media. We allowing that to determine how we treat women and how we talk to women. I'm looking for society changers, men who are willing to be the pillars of society again and the pillars of change in our society. So I think the first thing, let me somebody's in the chat. Let me get in here before I get into this. Good morning, Karen. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. So yes, let me see. He starts by Karen. He starts by stepping outside of the normal. Absolutely. Absolutely. And he has to, right? But this is the thing. This is the thing. I really want to get into this because this morning I'm going to talk about the purpose of man in society, not just in a woman's life, but in society, right? And I want to say this. Adam, when we look back at the book of Genesis, and I ain't into look, I'm a Christian man because I follow the principles of Christ. I'm not a church man, I'm a Christian man. And Jesus Christ was a revolutionary. He wasn't some chump that hid behind a suit in a pulpit. I want to say that for some of the religious people out there that understand me. Jesus was just as much as a revolutionary as Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, JFK, and all the different revolutionaries that died for a cause. I want to say that. I want to say that because he was a man that stood up and he was killed for a cause. He wasn't killed for religion. He was killed because he was trying to change a society and he was trying to break down a system. He was trying to break down a system that was breaking people. I want to say that to you, right? And some of you Christian brothers that listen to me, wake up, wake up. He was not hiding behind some podium, some convocation, some revival service. He wasn't wearing some clown suit and some clown hat and some clown robe and some nutty chain in his pocket. I want to say that. And I don't care who gets offended by this. Don't worry about it or don't listen. And you know, if you're so offended by this, you less than a man anyway. Right. But I want to check you this morning. I want to check the Muslim brothers this morning that even your leaders, your historical leaders didn't hide behind the masjid. No, they came outside and they walked out the principles that they believed they were taught to change society. You hear what I'm saying? You Jewish brothers, there were plenty of Jewish brothers that walked alongside of men who were in trouble to change society. They did not hide behind the walls of the synagogue. See, so I'm not here to just challenge the church or challenge. I'm here to challenge every man that's hiding behind some type of screen so we don't have to do anything about society. And I know that some of you are going to challenge this, and that's okay because I'm not scared to be challenged. But there's nothing you're going to go in the prayer room and pray about that God is not going to give you instruction to go outside and do something about it. So let's deal with this. What's the purpose of man in society? What's the purpose of man in society? Number one, he must recognize his role. We must recognize our roles as healers and leaders, right? Healers and leaders. And I want to say that the first word, the second word I use, all of us want to step into. We all want to be leaders, but who want to be a healer? You can be a terrible leader. You can be a terrible leader, right? But healers and leaders, as a man, we're healers. We're healers, right? Because we're not supposed to sit back and see our communities go down. We're supposed to stabilize. We're supposed to stabilize. And this is the problem too. This is a reality. Look how many of us have got caught up in the cult of politics. I'm a Democrat, you're a Republican, right? We get all into that, but neither party is doing anything about society. Let's really get into it because I'm never scared. You hear what I'm saying? I don't care what party you voted for. Each party is no difference between them. Now I know I'm going to offend somebody here today because you believe in your cult. But the truth of the matter is, look, I can give you one point to really make you look at this thing differently. Look at the money that was raised just for an election, right? On both sides. I'm talking about hundreds of millions of dollars were spent to get either one of those people in office, right? Now, I'm not saying the names and all that because I'm not going to make this. This ain't political. This is about society. If some group of people can raise hundreds of millions of dollars to get to win an office, while we have homeless and we have hungry people that are starving, then what is happening in society? Are we okay with the fact that we can raise millions of dollars to get on TV and buy ads, but not change society? Understand this. Now, now I see folks leaving the room. I ain't scared of that neither. Go ahead and leave the room. It's fine with me because, again, most people are used to me coming on and being a person who's going to talk about the problems of men and you can heal and all that stuff. But if you're going to heal, what you going to do with your healing? Right? The first thing as a man, you got to recognize your role as a healer in society. You're a healer in society, man. You're not just supposed to drift around and just be around. You're a healer in society. And for some of you ladies that on this podcast, that's the kind of man you should be looking for. You looking for a man that's 6'4" with muscles with $100,000 in the bank. You should be looking for a man that's a healer of society. Let me see who's in the chat. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Oh, man. So the duty of man is to be a healer in society. The duty of man also is to protect and provide wisdom for society. We're talking about the duty of man this morning. He's not just supposed to hang around. No, we were more than just hanging around. We were made more for more than just chasing women. Come on. That's what the enemy wants us to do. That's what the system wants us to do. That's come on. I'm going to get into it this morning. That's what the system wants us to do. Chase women, chase money, chase this. That's what the rap music has done to us over the years. Chase. We've chased things that didn't even matter. You hear what I'm saying? And now you see all this music and all these people we followed now are falling because the people we saw as heroes. Come on. There was one time that Diddy was a hero. There was a one time that Jay-Z was a hero to society. There was a one time where these rappers were heroes to society. And now we see, how the mighty have fallen, because what we find out was that they weren't walking out the purpose of man. They didn't take the authority they had, the millions of people that were following them. They weren't raising a society of people. They were destroying us by making our sons feel like it was cool to be drug dealers. They were making our societies believe that it was cool to chase women, to abuse, to talk to women any type of way. There was a day that wasn't happening. We had leadership in the earth that was teaching men how to be men, not hustlers. You hear what I'm saying? And again, if we don't have men teaching men how to be men, then what happens to the families? Who do our daughters marry if all our sons are thugs? I'm going to challenge you. Who do our daughters marry if all our sons are thugs? And when I talk about sons, I'm not just talking about my own son or your own son. We're raising a society of men who we're allowing to be led by rappers who talk about being high all the time. Think about it. Think about it, y'all. Even in my day, I'm not saying the rap music now is different. I'm saying hip hop in my day. When I used to listen to it, I remember one time I ran from the cops because Tupac had me so hyped. It was during the Greek picnic. This is way before some of y'all time. But the Greek picnic, y'all look it up. It was something that came to my city and everybody was out there, all the cars, everybody banging the music. The whole city was on lock. I'm talking about you couldn't even drive Broad Street nowhere because everything was on lock. Everybody was cool. It was wild out there, right? And I remember the cops got to chasing me one day and I was listening to Tupac and he was talking so gangster that I said, yo, I ain't stopping. Right? He had me going. You hear what I'm saying? That's the effect of it. Now, I'm not saying this music is bad, but what I'm saying is if you don't have somebody else telling you manhood, then we're being raised by music. And a lot of our sons right now are being fed by rappers and musicians that are high off pills, right? Teaching disrespect, teaching dishonor. Now, let me tell y'all something. The rappers in my time now who are now in their 50s are saying, yeah, we did society wrong. They pumped this stuff for 30 years into our society. And it's not just hip hop, it's also rock. It's also any kind of music that pushes this thing in our society. And now they're saying in their 50s and 60s, after making millions of dollars off of destroying communities, oh man, that was wrong. I listened to a guy the other day say, yeah, we even got paid more if we said certain lyrics in our music that would push the agenda of death and murder and destruction. They were being paid more to destroy communities. They're admitting that now. Right? But how many brothers have died? How many women have been hurt? How many children have been destroyed because of that music that drove a society into a hole? And now they're millionaires now saying, I'm sorry. You hear what I'm saying? And don't you see the trick? Don't you see the trick now? I listen to sometimes my son is in the car I say, son, put on some music you listen to, right? He's 20. And I listen to it and I look at him sometime and say, son, what? What is that? And he laughed because he like, Dad, this the music now. And I'm like, wow. It's about pills. It's about sadness. You need spiritual insight as a man too. Spiritual insight to see what's going on in your community, right? I'm listening to this music and everything's very sad. Everything's very suicidal. Everything, I'm going to take my life. Everything is, my heart is broken. There's depression being driven through music now. That's why our young kids just want to be high, sit in the dark, roll around with hoodies all the time. This is what's happening in society now, and we're watching our sons fall apart. We're watching our daughters fall apart, y'all. Pay attention. Wake up as men. We are healers, but if we don't see what's hurt, how can we heal it? Good morning, everybody. Let me see who's in the chat. Oh man, good morning, good morning, good morning. Grace and peace, everybody. Grace and peace, my brother. Grace and peace. Good morning, my brother. Good morning. All the way from Kenya, I believe. Good morning, Fred. Good morning, my brother. Y'all hear what I'm saying? And so there has to be more now, y'all. There has to be more because men are to be healers in society, right? This is the thing. Why aren't we confronting societal issues? Why aren't we? Are we afraid now? Or do we want to just go with the flow? Now I want to challenge some of you men. Were you born to go with the flow? Is that all you want? Think about it, man. Yeah, I'm gonna wake you up. I'm gonna challenge you. Were you born? Is all you want is to go with the flow as a man? That's all? No, you're a society changer, bro. The goal of society, the goal of the system, because there is an absolute system out here that's breaking people. The goal of the system is to say, man, just get high, just get drunk, man, just escape. It's escapism. It's escapism. It's to get you to look at how hard your life has been and look, man, I ain't doing no more. That's what society wants us to do. They don't want us to thrive. They just want us to survive. Survive until you die. They don't want you to thrive. They don't want you to talk like this. They don't want you to talk like this. They want you to choose a political party. They want you to hide behind your religion, whatever it is. You hear what I'm saying? They want you to hide behind your pain, pump a pill down your throat, right? That's the thing. That's the thing. And while the same system is pushing into society things that hurt you, we got to wake up, brothers. We got to wake up. And again, when I say brothers, I'm not just talking about my black brothers. Y'all going to see me come out with a podcast maybe this week, maybe Thursday when I come back on live, where I start talking about racial reconciliation. Racial reconciliation. You know why? You know why racism exists? Now, we want to talk. We really want to get into it. Let's get into it. But I'm not going to be afraid to get online and talk truth. If people can fill the airways of the internet with all kinds of nonsense and violence and craziness and dating games and all the stuff that destroys our society, who's going to be the voice to get on the same internet and blow these waves up with truth? I will, because I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to die for truth. I'm not afraid to be killed for what I say. I'm not afraid of the government. I'm not afraid of anybody. And I'm not just talking. I'm talking about what I've been through in life has put me in the place where I know my duty to society, and it's not to run from it. It's not to run. It's to stand up and cause a problem. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to cause a problem in society. Yes, the problem I'm trying to cause is to wake people up. That's what society don't want. That's what society don't want. That's what politics don't want. They just want you all caught up in what color you gonna wear. What's the difference between the Democrats and Republicans and the Bloods and the Crips? Because all we doing is killing society. Let's get into it. Let's get into it, huh? You brothers out there that's religious, what's your church doing? What is your church doing in your community? Do you know it's almost 7,000 churches in my city alone? And I'm sure there's many thousands in Chicago and New York and everywhere else. What y'all doing in society? Walking by it? Praying about it? Jesus didn't sit by, walk about, and pray about it. He did something. He caused so much problems in society that it cost his life. But he was willing to wake up a generation. What you willing to do as a man? What you willing to do as a man? You just going to work your 9 to 5? You going to put a little savings away and hope for the best? Or you going to stop these young men from killing each other? You got a gift. You've been through something. And guess what else, bro? You got a story to tell. You got a story to tell. You got something to say in society that can change society. But the system don't want you to know that. It just wants you to shut your mouth. It wants you to try to get your bank account up. Do you know that wealth ain't supposed to come to you? There are 3 men in society right now. Three There are 3 men in society that hold more wealth than 170 million people. I want y'all to hear what I'm saying. There are 3 men in society right now that have more wealth amongst these three than 170 million people put together. The system is not designed for you to prosper. The system is not designed for you to prosper. But if we stand together, get rid of, see, the truth is, as black people, they want us to hate the white man. They want the white man to hate the black man. They want the Indian man to hate the Asian man. They want the Asian man to hate the Latino man. And you know what the truth is? We're all being killed by the same system. We're all being suppressed by the same system. Every single one of us. We want our children. We want our children to prosper. We all want the same thing. But do you know it's a system that pushes us to be against women? There's a system that pushes us to be against our own children, right? And it didn't just start. It started in the book of Genesis. What did Satan want to do? Satan wanted to break up a family. Do you think he's not doing the same thing now? The system hasn't changed. You hear what I'm saying? What the whole point? Listen, the strongest entity that exists is the family. The family is stronger than the church, it's stronger than the masjid, it's stronger than the synagogue, it's stronger than the government. If there was a big need for a government, why didn't God put one in the Garden of Eden? Why? Because the family was the government. The father took care of the family. You hear what I'm saying? And the whole system is to tear the family apart and make us divide ourselves and go to following this and following that, and not realizing our purpose in society. For y'all that's just coming in, I'm talking about the purpose of man in society. The purpose of man in society is not to duck and hide. You hear what I'm saying? You see this guy right here? Martin Luther King. I picked this picture of him. I didn't pick him to be on a stage. See, I could have picked any picture I wanted of him to put up in my background, but I put this picture up particularly, right? This right here in his hand, that's a cigarette right there. He's exhausted with trying to change society. What we exhausted with? What exhausts you? What work are you putting in as a man that exhausts you? You hear what I'm saying? Huh? This picture right here, my camera's a little low, but I'm gonna put it up. See that face right there? That's Muhammad Ali right before he passed away. Huh? Y'all see him as a boxer. He didn't see himself as a boxer. He saw himself as a society changer. You hear what I'm saying? You hear what I'm saying? See, I'm talking real to y'all. I'm talking beyond the nonsense and the chaos that we see on social media that got us caught up in the foolishness. No. There were men that were willing to die for a cause. There were men that were willing to stand up to a corrupt system. There were men willing to stand up and change things in society, even if it cost them their life. Why? Because that's what men do. Men don't hide. Men provide, men protect, and men provide wisdom to generations to change society around it. You're going to live and you're going to die, or you're going to do something about society. Oh man. And listen, I'm not afraid to teach this stuff, because I ain't gonna get on here I'm not gonna get on here every other day, or every one of my videos be all about healing the man and bro, you can feel better. That was cool. And if some of y'all been following me since the beginning, I've been doing that for months and months and months. But you don't heal a man to keep on healing a man. You heal a man in order to make him effective. That's what you heal a man for, to make him an effective man. And I don't care if I lose subscribers. I don't care what I lose, because what I will gain is a nation of men of all races, of all colors, of all creeds, to realize that we're all being played by one system that wants us to hate each other, that wants us to hate our women. And while we're hating each other and hating our women, what's happened to our generation? Our generation, our children are being sucked up in a system that we won't confront. Right? Our children are being sucked up in a system we won't confront. Do you know what would happen if a bunch of men got together and confronted the education systems in their city? I'm talking about the public school education systems. I'm not talking about, because everybody don't have the money to send their kids to private school. Do you know what would happen? It just in my city alone, in city of Philadelphia, or New York, or Chicago, or in Ohio, in Florida, if we stood up and we stopped letting the government run the education system, and we said we start going to these school districts and saying, hey, we need better education. There's no way in the world we got schools that don't have air conditioning in them. There's no way in the world that we pay these kind of taxes and we got schools our kids can't go to, and we got horrible teachers. There's no way. You know what he would do? Come on. This dude right here, that's my father. You know what he would do? What we doing? What we doing? Complaining? Or we culture shifters? We gonna blend in or we gonna stand out? I'm talking about men here, right? I'm talking about men here. You know what? Because I've been on here for about 31 minutes. If I was on here with a balloon pop show with a bunch of young ignorant girls with skirts all the way up by their behinds, right? And a man coming through and everybody popping a balloon, that's entertainment. You know why we watch that? You know why I can't get 100 million views? Because truth don't get 100 million views. You know why? Because they've groomed us to love entertainment. If I got on here right now and start bashing women, I would have a whole room full of people. And anytime I say something that challenges women, men love it. I get thousands of likes, thousands of comments. If I say something about men, women love it. You know why? Because we've been groomed to hate each other. I watch my statistics. I watch my videos. When I talk like this, right, the video view count is lower. But when I talk crazy, when I start really challenging men or women, then it's like, oh, we're going to watch that. If I talk about relationships, we're going to watch that. Huh? Because we're so entertained. We're entertained. Entertainment is sucking the juice out of us. It's sucking the manhood out of us, where we're laughing and joking. You know what else? Other videos get high views? When we watch a woman be set on fire in a New York subway. Thousands of views. Thousands. Yeah, when we watch videos, men being fighting in the street, men being hurt and killed, thousands of views. Thousands. But when you talk about a revolution, when you talk about men standing up, yeah, you got to fight to get views because the algorithm won't push this. Why you think? Because we're all being sucked into the algorithm. Why you think they push videos about hating women to men and they push videos about hating women to hating women to men and hating men to women? Why do you think they push those videos? Right? It ain't just because they get a high viewership. The algorithm knows what to push. And the algorithm pushes this ignorance into society to make us hate each other. It's the algorithm. Algorithm is like the crack epidemic. We all high on the algorithm. That's why we wake up before we even thank God for another day. We looking for our phones. Come on. No, push this. Let this go viral. Push this. Share this. Like this. Comment on this. We comment on everything else. Come on. VH1 gave us Real Housewives to show us how ignorant we can be as a people, to show us as grown people throwing wine on each other and arguing and weaves and short skirts. You hear what I'm saying? Reality shows push men just trying to act like hustlers in their 40s and 50s, wearing crazy outfits, jeans that look like tights. Where do you think this stuff come from? You think this just made up? It's societal. It's societal to make men more feminine and violent and make women masculine. It ain't just us doing this to us. We're being taught it. We're being fed it. Wake up, society. You're being fed to hate white folks. You're being fed to hate black people. You're being fed to hate Latino people. Why do you think the news pushes everything about immigration? To make you hate people, to make you hate society, to make us think we're better than people. Come on, wake up, wake up, wake up. Come on. So the duty of man, I'm gonna end this podcast soon because I gotta go. But I'll get back to this. I'll get back to this Thursday because I'm never afraid. And again, I'm not afraid of losing people. I'm not afraid of any of that. I'm not afraid of people saying he talking crazy. No, because I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to wake you up. I'm here to wake you up. So the first thing a man got to do, the purpose of man is to recognize his role as a healer in society. Number two, he has to understand the consequences of the distractions. You know what's happening? We're being so distracted, we're losing generations. What's the modern distractions? Again, I mentioned it earlier, consumerism. How much stuff can you buy? How much stuff can you have? Get the newest car, get the newest iPhone, get the newest. It pushes the chase. And if you're always chasing, you know what you miss on the chase? You miss self-awareness. If you're always trying to get something, you miss who you are in society. You miss your purpose as a man in society. And that's the goal. That's the trick. is to get you not to see what's important about what you're going to have instead of what you're going to become. Now, let me stick on there for a minute. See, that's the goal. What you're going to have instead of what you're going to become. That's what society wants you to do as a man. What you possess. Do you know when you die, nothing will matter? The legacy comes in what you were to society, not what you had in society. Number 3, as a man, we got to reclaim responsibility through self-discipline. Self-discipline. That's one thing I enjoy about my Muslim brothers. I'm a Christian man. I follow the revolutionary Jesus Christ. But that's one thing I respect about my Muslim brothers. In a certain day, because the church and the mosque and the synagogue have become weaker and weaker over time. There was a day when my Muslim brothers, they showed strong discipline. The church brothers showed strong spirituality. And guess what happened? You put spirituality and discipline together, you change the earth around you. Now, y'all really don't want me to get into this. Y'all really leave the room if I start talking about that the Muslim brother and the Christian brother need to come together, because historically our father was Abraham. And he had 2 sons. That's too heavy. But imagine if the Muslim brother and the Christian brother got together and start talking about Father Abraham. What would happen in society then? God bless all my Muslim brothers that come on the podcast. Let's have a real conversation. What if we start talking about interfaith? What if we stop warring our faiths against each other, and we start talking about interfaith to come together to change society? What would happen then? What would happen then? What would happen if we got with our Jewish brothers and we start talking about Abraham? And we stop talking about our differences and start talking about the root of our faith. What would happen then? We would change society. That's what nobody wants. That's why the media pushes radical Islam to make us look at the Muslim brothers as if they're horrible people. And they don't talk about real Christian. They talk about white Christian nationalism. That's not Jesus Christ and his mission. That's to make us hate white people. See, I'm not going to be made to do anything. As a man, you're not supposed to be made to do anything. You're supposed to think from your own mind and see what's going on. Because the greatest thing you can have as a man is not a pocket full of money. It's a head full of wisdom and insight and understanding. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Oh, Christian, you messing up today. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Because when it's all said and done, where's the movement? Where's the movement? I'm going to start the movement. I'm going to start. If nobody else want to start the movement, I'll start the movement. Because what we can't do is sit around and be played by systems and society to make us destroy each other and not see who the real enemies are. So I encourage you, brothers. I encourage you to find what inspires you to change society. I encourage you to find what's in you. What do you do well that you can feed into young people so society after us doesn't have to be the way it is now? I hope to inspire you to see what kind of power you have and to encourage you to say you're more than a broken man. You're more than a man who made mistakes in his life. No, you're more than what people said you are or think you to be. You're a society shifter. You think you made it as a man just because? You think you came through what you came through just because? For some of the brothers who have been incarcerated and came out of jail, do you think you came out just because? No, you came out because you're supposed to be a society shifter. For you church brothers, you think that you hold that Bible and you got all them principles in your hand just because? For my Muslim brothers, do you think that you hold and you go to the masjid and do your worship? Do you think that you hold your book just because? No, we're supposed to be society shifters. And there was a day where they were. And I pray for the day that we resurrect them again. What you going to do about society? Don't get caught up in consumerism. Don't get caught up in getting this money. Don't get caught up in all the things that society feeds us that take the focus off the brokenness in our society right now. Don't get caught up, bro. Hey, y'all, thanks for listening to me. Thanks for listening to me. It wasn't a rant. It was a challenge. It was a challenge toward the purpose of man in society. And it's not to chase women or hang chains around your neck. It's not. It's not to keep on looking for a hero, because the hero is in you. The hero ain't in the music industry. The hero is not in Washington, D.C. The hero is in you. You're a hero every time you do homework with your babies. You're a hero every time you take your son and you teach him something new. You're a hero every time you take your daughter to dinner. Every time you teach her how she's to be loved, you're a hero. Be that. Do that. Be a man. Be a shifter. Be a changer. Because that's what we're really born to be. Not to exist, not to survive, but to thrive. Hey, man, I'm out of here. You matter to me today, but I need you to matter to you. For some of you brothers out here facing hard stuff and you need some advice, you need some counsel, you need some coaching, go to christianwinners.com, man. I got donation-based coaching right there to help some of my brothers. I always say this, and I'll say it all the time. The reason I do it donation-based, some people say you crazy. You can make thousands of dollars. That's the problem in society. It's all about making thousands of dollars. I do counseling and coaching on my website, christianwinners.com, and I do it donation-based because there was a time I needed help and couldn't find it because I didn't have enough money. There should be no men out here in society that need help and can't find it because they don't have money. And some of you brothers that do have money, you can donate and help me to help other brothers who don't. But I'm trying to be a changer in this society, and I want you to be too. Remember, you matter today. You matter to me. You matter to your wife. You matter to your girl. You matter to your children, but you got to matter to you. Live today with no fear, no shame, and no compromise. And like we end every show, man, yesterday was history, and tomorrow is a mystery. You got right now. What you going to do about it? I hope this challenged you today. Hey, be brilliant today because you absolutely are. Hey, I love you, and I'm out of here. Peace.